Greetings friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany if you've never been here before, and today's video is going to be a full face of Tarte Cosmetics. This is a video I've actually considered doing for a while. I've been wanting to do more one brand tutorials, but I hadn't really known exactly what brand to do, and Tarte Cosmetics has always sort of appealed to me in that it is a brand that I find that a lot of people who aren't totally obsessed with makeup, just like the average day-to-day makeup consumer, those who are not, super into YouTube and super into like the beauty space and the beauty culture, tend to like Tarte. I've heard this from several people that that's like their go-to brand, and I find that interesting. So I thought I would do a full face of just Tarte, and that's what this is going to be. Just a one brand tutorial with Tarte Cosmetics. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. I would love if you did. Those are the only two things that YouTube seems to care about, and it would be great if you did that so that you don't miss out on future videos from me, because I put them out every week, baby. And I think it's time that we stop talking about it and start being about it and get into this video. Do you want to do that? Let's do that. Let's do that right now. Right now. If you would like to see me do a one brand tutorial with Tarte Cosmetics, just keep on watching. Okay, so now that I have you in real close, we'll go ahead and get started on the face. So I don't wear foundation. If you're new here, hi, I don't wear foundation. I just do a little bit of concealer. So for concealer today, what concealer can we go with when it comes to Tarte? If not, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I don't love this. I haven't used it in a long time, to be fair. I do like to use it for like cut crease and stuff like that. Something where I want like real opaque full coverage, but this is a little bit dry for my skin, and this is a little light. So I am going to put a little of this, but I'm going to mix a dot of a darker concealer just to get the right shade. This has very full coverage, but as you can see, that is a light shade for my skin tone, for what I like, because I don't like to overly highlight since I don't wear foundation. All right, now that we have something a little darker mixed in, I'm going to blend it in. And see, it's very full coverage. I made sure to really moisturize under my eyes before doing this, because this is a more matte concealer and I don't want it to make me look too dry, since I got 31-year-old eye bags that don't look cute dried out. Bring it over the nose because it is so much coverage that it's already, like, just that little amount is too much. So I'm just going to bring it over the nose a little bit. Oh, my septum is unhooked. Let's fix that a little bit, huh? Cool. And now I got to really work on blending this in with my skin, since it is so high coverage, so it doesn't look weird with the rest of me that is unconcealed, you know? Okay, so this is what it looks like up close. On this side of my face, it looks pretty good because I'm not experiencing any, much dryness under the eyes. But I don't know if you can tell on this eye, in this area right here and under my eye right there, it's clinging pretty bad to some dry patches I'm having. If you're new, I was having an allergic reaction for like 6 months on my eye, and it had a flare up 2 days ago, so it's looking a little dry right there, and this concealer does cling to it. It could also be the shade, because I find when you use a concealer that's too light, it can look drier, especially on dry patches. So that could be part of why it's looking like that, but that is what the concealer looks like. It's pretty good coverage. It's just a little dry for me, but it actually looks pretty good under this eye right now, because I went in and used a lot of moisturizer and made sure that it was going to be nice and smooth under there, so it doesn't look bad on this side. I do not hate it on this side. It's actually better than I remember, because it's been a long time since I used it as concealer, but I definitely need a darker shade. So that's that, and now we can go ahead and set it. So for a setting powder, since I do not have a loose setting powder from Tarte, which is typically what I use, I'm going to go in with this Park Avenue Princess palette, because it does have two light shades right there. And I'm going to mix the two together. This one's a little more yellow, this one's a little more pink, and I'm going to put that under the eyes to set that. I have actually never used these powders that way, so it's kind of cool to see how they work. I haven't used that palette much, to be honest. I need to use it a little more. So first I'm going to tap out any creases, and this is going to be a mixture of Halo and Enhance. So tap out and tap on. This side of my eye always has more creasing, unfortunately. It's just like a little bit of a bitch, so I got out what I could, but it always creases on this eye more than on my right eye. Gonna bring it into the center of my forehead to kind of mattify, because that is what I like to do, and try to blend the pores there, because as I'm getting older, I'm noticing my pores are more pronounced, which is rude, but okay. Maybe bring a little in the cheek area for those pores and on the chin. Okay, so here's a close-up of the set eye. Again, this side looks pretty smooth. It's a little makeup-y in this area, but it's not too bad. And this eye just is not looking great. You can see, I don't know if you can, but I can see right there, it's clinging pretty hard. The concealer and the powder, and same with, well, here's not as bad. Right here, though, my God. Just not looking the best to me, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think anything's really looking great right there, right now. Okay, so before bronzing, I think we should try a little cream contour. I've been more into creams lately, so I want to give that a shot today, and I'm going to use my Tardis Pro Glow to do that, because there is a cream contour shade right here. And ever since getting that Milk Cosmetics bronzer stick that I used in my full face of creams, testing out a full face of creams for the first time, I've been really liking it, so I want to try it today. So I'm dipping into that shade. It's called Shade, because of course it is. Ooh, that's very brown. And dab a little on my hand. Oh my God, that's very brown. Dab a little on my hand. I did not know it was going to be all like that. And let's do a little contour. Okay, looks better on the face since I dabbed some off. Let's brush it upward and contour these cheeks. I'm going to contour like the roundness of my cheek here, because I did that for my tiny face challenge, which if you did not see that video, it was pretty funny. I recreated Jamie French's 2 tiny face challenge videos. I'll link them up here. You can just search my name if you want to after this is over. And I contoured out the shape of the cheek for that video, and I actually really like how it looked. It just made me look like happy and cherub-like, so I want to do it again. That little bit, even dabbed off on my hand, was enough to do my whole face, and I kind of like it. I like the shade of this product. I think it looks nice on my skin. I like that. I'm disappointed that I haven't used it more, and it's not seeming to bother the powder that was on under it. Yeah. This side needs a little more blending, as always. My left side never looks good. So my stupid right-handedness, I guess? I don't know. So before I put on my highlighter, I'd like to put on bronzer on top of this contour situation to set it down and also warm it a little more, you know what I mean? So let's go back into that Park Avenue Princess Bronzer palette. And I'm going to go in with the shade Princess Cut right here and bronze up my face. I'm going to get a fluffy brush like this one. Keep it nice and diffuse since we already have that contour powder down. And let's let me clip this hair. Having long hair, I've been trying to grow it out. I'm on a natural hair journey. If you're not from here, I've been on a natural hair journey for 1.5 years, and I'm trying to grow it out as long as I can. This is how long it is now. It's the longest it's been in a long time, and the healthiest, but my goodness, if long hair is not always in the way. It is. Make it look like I've seen the sun in the last, how many months have we been on quarantine? I haven't done anything in such a long time, my God. But you would never guess it to look at me, would ya? Because of how tan I am. I've obviously been spending time at the beach disobeying the stay-at-home orders. Okay, highlighter. So for highlighter, I think I'm going to end up using 2. I'm first going to go in with this Tardis Pro Glow to Go palette, and I'm going to mix these 2 shades together for my cheeks, and I'm going to use a different one on my nose, cupid's bow, all that jazz. I haven't used these highlighters in so long. I loved this palette when I got it. The review on this palette is actually my most viewed video on YouTube, surprisingly enough. And I haven't used it in so long, but I loved it when I got it. It actually is quite pretty. Those 2 shades mixed together are really nice. Look at that. It actually looks a lot better than I remember, because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like generally, just overall, I'm kind of indifferent towards Tarte. Not that I don't like it, because I definitely do. I don't have a lot of stuff from them that I just straight up don't like, but I don't find myself getting excited for anything they release. Is anyone else like that? I guess the majority of people do like them because, you know, I don't know what it is. I just don't find myself being like, ooh, Tarte's coming out with something. You know? I don't know. Which maybe is rude considering everything I'm using today is so far so good. Like, the highlight looks really nice. It looks maybe a little thick. Like, you can tell that it's makeup, but, I mean, it is makeup, so that is the cheeks with this. Looks really nice, really blindy. And now for my high points in my face, I'm actually going to use the highlight in the big palette here. So I really, really love this highlight shade right here, Strobe. It's a little less intense than those ones are. And I just think it's really, really pretty. See, look at that. So cute. I don't gravitate towards many of these products from Tarte. I don't know what it is about Tarte. I've had these a while and I never pull them out. I can't remember the last time I pulled out this palette. Yes, let's bring more attention to my crusty eyes. Ew. Alright, so now that we are bronzed and highlighted, my goodness, my hair is a mess. I'm so sorry. At least it's clean. I washed it for the first time in a week yesterday. Let's do some blush, huh? Let's do some blush. So for blush, I'm actually going to go into this Tarte Clay Play Volume 2 palette. This is the one that came out with more rosy tones and shimmers, where the original, my favorite one's all matte. And I'm going to use this blush and put that on my cheeks. The highlight in here is really pretty too. It's a lot more like sparkly than their normal highlights. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little more like sparkly and textured, but also very pretty. Ooh, I like the tone of it actually quite a bit. Yeah, that's pretty. But anyway, let's do the blush. I feel like I remember it being pretty pigmented, so I'm going to go with this Duo Fiber brush, and this is in the shade Desert. Should have been Desert Rose, but anyway. And let's just apply it to the cheeks real quick. Yeah, I was right, it is pigmented, so I'm glad I went in with this brush to kind of sheer it out. I'm going to blend it into that highlight to melt the two together. Bring it up around town. And I like to go across the nose, on the tip of the nose. Yeah, it's a sweet, cute little blush. I like that. I like that. Very cute. I am a fan. So give me 1 second. I'm going to throw on some eyebrows because I don't have any Tarte brow products, and I'll be right back to do the eyes. So just a second. Okay, so now we are back with eyebrows, thankfully. Does Tarte even make brow products? I actually don't know. But either way, I don't own any, so I just throw on some eyebrows. And now let's go ahead and get into the eye portion. I'm going to go with a nice neutral eye because I feel like that is the draw of Tarte. I've been really sitting here thinking, trying to figure out what it is about Tarte that people really like. Not that they're not good, but there are so many brands out there that I think of first. So I wanted to understand why the general consumer is attracted to Tarte as a brand. And I think it is because they release really basic staple products. So for somebody who has so much makeup, those things are not exciting, but for somebody who is a day-to-day makeup wearer that isn't like big in the beauty scene and isn't watching all the launches and doesn't follow trend mood and doesn't watch everybody on YouTube and doesn't do this as like a hobby and like a love, why Tarte is such a draw is because they're releasing the types of things that most people outside of the space wear. They wear neutrals. They wear like everyday, basic, blushy, normal, you know, neutral tones. So with all that said, we're going to go in with the Tarte Clay Play Volume 1 palette, which is actually my favorite palette from Tarte. It's the only one that I typically go for if I'm going for one at all. I just love this palette so much. I think it's really good. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm first going to put some tape on my eyes, so I think I want to go with like a winged out sort of simple look. Okay, real quick before we do the eyes, I just went and looked up close at my skin and at my face. I'm trying to get like an idea of how I'm liking this, and I have to set my under eyes with a better powder because this looks really, really bad. So give me a second. I'm going to fix this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see how bad that looks? Probably not, but it doesn't look good, so I'm going to fix that real quick. I don't know if that's meant to be a setting powder or a brightening powder, so that could just be a my bad, but I gotta do something and set it real quick before we move on, so give me just a second. Okay, I did the best I could. This eye is just not doing well right now with the makeup and the dry patches, so let's just move on and let's get into this palette. I'm going to start by dipping into the shade Journey right here. While we are on the subject of this palette, I thought it was worth mentioning that something I did not like that Tarte did when they released the Clay Play Volume 1 and Volume 2 is, first off, I'm sure you noticed it's the exact same packaging from one to the other, and you can only tell by either opening it or looking at the tiny sticker on the bottom which palette you're doing. But additionally, they named all the shades the same thing. So, for example, Desert was the color of the blush we put on. This is Desert in this palette, which is like a really cool toned bronzer shade. So I did not love that, but that's just like a me pet peeve. But all that aside, I really like this palette. It's a great staple neutral palette. And I don't feel like it gets enough love. I think it's really good. I don't feel like it got enough love when it first came out, and I think that it holds up. If you have it, I definitely say pull it out. I think I heard that they actually discontinued this one, which is ridiculous, but they still have Volume 2, which I feel like more people would be into anyway because of the shimmer, so I'll give you a side-by-side comparison of the two after we're done with the eyes. I'm going to switch to a bit of a smaller brush, and we're going to go in with my favorite shade in this palette, which is Timber right here. Oh, it's such a pretty warm tone shade. I love it. Or excuse me, it's Ember. My bad. And we're going to focus this down here against the tape and slightly into like that outer spot right there, but just a little. We're not going to bring it in like we did with the other one, just like that. All right, now I'm going to take this shade, which is Timber. This is a beautiful shade also, and I'm going to pack that closer to the lash line and right up against that tape and slightly curve it that way. There you go. There's a little bit of fallout, which I'm just going to dust away. And now I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go in with Onyx here and put that really close to the lash line. Really create that wing, but keep it very close on the inner portion of the eye. Okay, and last I want to take the shade Sand here and put that on the eyelid. It's like a yellowy toned sort of cream shade, just to brighten up that area. I don't feel like the laydown was very nice, so I'm going to try it on a brush. And try patting it with a brush. Oh, that's better. Blend that out. There you go. That's what I wanted. Alright, now that we have that done, let's go ahead and peel it off to see this nice sharp wing. That is so satisfying. My god. Okay, let's do it again. Again, the satisfaction. Let's quickly just smudge like one shade on the lower lash line. I don't want to get too crazy down there, to be honest. Not in the mood. Not in the mood for that. So what shade shall we put? I think let's just go with Stone right there. No, let's go with Desert right there. I feel like putting a little shadow down here kind of hides the under eye lines, because okay, so there's a difference between, I think, creasing and eye lines, and I mean, if you have eye lines, you have eye lines. It's just how it goes, and I feel like putting a little shadow there sort of hides it, makes it look a litof better than if you leave them light. Same with right here. I'm going to try to hide how bad my under eye looks with some brown eyeshadow, and it actually kind of works. It hides the crust under a layer of brown dust. In Tarte, Today We Trust. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow look. We go ahead and throw on some mascara and some lips, and we will talk final thoughts. Good? Good. Okay, so for mascara, I have this Big Ego mascara from Tarte. I will say I'm not obsessed with this one. The brush is nice, but the formula is just kind of like meh, like so-so. I'm very, very seldomly impressed with mascara, but this is what we're going to go with today because this is the only one I have. Okay, mascara. So there's that eye after one coat. I'm definitely going to put on another coat, but I just wanted to show you so you could see this eye with one coat, this eye with no coat. I don't feel like the difference is quite enough for what I like. The bottom lashes look nice, but I just feel like it's a little, like whatever. And I also find that it does dry and flake off, but I'm going to go ahead and put on a second coat and then do the other eye and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so we are back and this is my face with the mascara on, and then I throw on a little lip liner because I do not own a Tarte lip liner. I do own a Tarte lipstick. So this is with the mascara. I think it's fine. I think the one I normally use is better and cheaper. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and go in with a lipstick. I'm going to be using this Tarte lipstick. The name sticker has come off the bottom, But I do like these lipsticks. I have two. I can't find the other one, which is my favorite. It's a nude, but this is like a nice mauve tone, which I think will go nice with the eyes regardless. So let's go ahead and pop it on. Okay guys, this is the completed look using Tarte Cosmetics. Okay guys, so that was the application process using all Tarte Cosmetics. Let me look it up closer a little bit more. I have been looking at it up close throughout the process, and I do have my thoughts. Overall, I think I look nice. I think from this distance, it is a good look. I think it's pretty. I think it's natural. I think it is simple but impactful. I will say that I don't love the way my skin looks. It just looks a little heavier than I go for on a day-to-day because I do not wear foundation. I like a more natural base, and it's like the products are a little thicker than I'm used to is the best way I can describe it. It doesn't look bad at all. It's just a little more than what I go for on the day-to-day, but it does look very nice. I feel like I did like that bronzing, contouring cream product. I will probably use that more since I've been gravitating towards creams a bit more recently. The bronzer, I think, matches pretty nicely with my skin. I do like that blush. It's very pigmented, so if you're any lighter than me, you might want to go in with an even lighter hand, but if you're deeper than me, it would probably be really, really nice. The lipstick, it is a creamy formula. It does transfer. I like these lipsticks. They're not my favorite formula, but I do like them. They just tend to feel a little bit dry after you've been wearing them a while, which is weird since it's like a creamy formula. I'm not sure what's up with that. The highlight looks really, really pretty. I like the one on my nose even better than the ones on my cheeks. What else did we use? The concealer's fine. I feel like it's a little heavy and a little full coverage for my day-to-day. If I had a shade that was closer to my skin tone, I might like it more. The setting powder, that powder, don't use it for setting. It did not do anything, and my under eyes look like trash. Mascara, I do not love. I just want to use it and get rid of it, and I would not repurchase it. I think it's fine, but my Essence Lash Princess is $5 and is way, way better, especially for the day-to-day. And the eyeshadows are great. I have always been a fan of the eyeshadow palettes. I've told you I would give you a side-by-side, so let me do that real quick. So these are the two palettes here. I have to hold them to the side so that that shine doesn't destroy you. But that is the two palettes right here. The one on top is the one that I believe is still in stock. It comes with the blushes and the highlights and actually has a mix of mattes and shimmers, where the bottom, the one that I love, is all mattes and just bronzers on the bottom. I can see when I look at these palettes why these products are popular with the everyday person, because I could see myself, if I wasn't a makeup collector, loving something like this palette, because I'd look at it and be like, wow, I've got all the eyeshadows I need, plus highlight, plus blush all in one place, so I don't have to worry about having a bunch of different loose products. So I understand why people like Tarte, because I went into this kind of like, why do people like Tarte so much? And not in like a mean way, just in a way that I don't understand, because as I said, they don't excite me, they're not a brand I think of, and I think it's because I like something new and something different, because I collect, and these are really good for someone who just wants their day-to-day makeup. Get ready, get up, put on some neutrals, put on some mascara, and go. And a lot of people are like that, and I realize there are more people like that than there are like me. So though they might not be super exciting to see like on Trendmood or on YouTube, and they might not be something that catches a lot of makeup collectors' eyes, I can understand from a branding point that they are, the reason they're successful and the reason people like them is because they are actually appealing to the everyday consumer and not the makeup collector. So that's why people like Tarte. Okay, and with all of that said, that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed this one brand look. Let me know down below if there's any other brand that you would like to see, because I'd like to do more of these. I think it was pretty fun. Of course, please subscribe and hit the bell. Join the Brat Pack before you leave. I would love to have you here. I put out videos every week, and it's a fun time, buddy. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for being here when you could be anywhere else in the internet. I was going to say in the world, but you really can't leave your house. But when you could be anywhere else in the internet, it's a big place. Thank you for hanging out with me in my room, with my life and my world, and keeping me company so I don't go insane. Okay, bye.